More than 80 years after the guns fell silent, the story of Britain's struggle, sacrifice, and triumph in World War II is still written across its towns and cities, not just in books but in stone, bronze, and silence. Across the country and beyond, World War II memorials serve as powerful reminders of a time when the nation stood on the brink of destruction, only to emerge battered but unbroken. These memorials do more than honor the dead. They reflect the character, courage, and collective memory of Britain. The Cenotaph, the heart of national remembrance. While originally built after World War I, the Cenotaph in Whitehall, London, has become Britain's central monument of remembrance for both world wars. Every Remembrance Sunday, the monarch, political leaders, military representatives, and the public gather here to pay tribute to the fallen. The silence, the wreaths of poppies, and the solemn procession remind the nation of the price of freedom and the endurance of memory. The Cenotaph bears no names, only the inscription, "The Glorious Dead." This universal phrasing emphasizes that the loss was national, spanning all classes and regions, and the act of remembrance, collective. Bomber Command Memorial, honoring controversial bravery. In Green Park, London, stands the Bomber Command Memorial, unveiled in 2012. It commemorates the 55,573 aircrew of RAF Bomber Command who died during the war, many of them just teenagers. For decades, Bomber Command's role was controversial due to the massive civilian casualties caused by bombing raids on cities like Dresden. The memorial, featuring a bronze sculpture of 7 airmen and built from Portland stone, strikes a balance between acknowledging the courage of those who flew deadly missions and reflecting on the moral weight of aerial warfare. It took years for these men to receive national recognition, and the memorial now stands as a long overdue tribute. Battle of Britain Monument, the few who defended the many. Perched along the Thames embankment, the Battle of Britain Monument pays homage to the Royal Air Force pilots, the few, who defended Britain from Nazi invasion during the summer of 1940. Unveiled in 2005, the sweeping bronze frieze captures scenes of air combat, civilians watching the skies, and the frantic pace of war. Alongside it are the names of nearly 3,000 airmen, including Poles, Czechs, Canadians, Australians, and others who flew alongside the British. The monument is both a tribute to international cooperation and a symbol of Britain's finest hour. The Women of World War II Memorial, recognizing a different kind of service. Standing tall on Whitehall, the Women of World War II Memorial is a striking, minimalist sculpture unveiled in 2005. It depicts 17 sets of uniforms and work attire hanging in relief, a symbolic nod to the millions of British women who took on roles traditionally held by men during the war. From factory workers to nurses, land girls to secret agents, these women kept Britain running while the men were at the front. The memorial honors their resilience, sacrifice, and the quiet revolution in gender roles that the war initiated. Commonwealth Memorial Gates, tribute to Empire's sacrifice. Near Hyde Park Corner, the Commonwealth Memorial Gates honor the 5 million volunteers from Africa, the Caribbean, and the Indian subcontinent who served in the British Armed Forces during both World Wars. Unveiled in 2002, the gates remind visitors that Britain did not stand alone, that its empire rallied to the cause. The memorial is a powerful step in recognizing the often overlooked contributions of colonial soldiers, many of whom died far from home and whose stories were long excluded from British wartime narratives. Local memorials, the nation's patchwork of remembrance. Beyond the grand memorials of London, nearly every village, town, and city in Britain has its own World War II monument. Plaques in churches, statues in town squares, and war memorial gardens. These often bear the names of local sons and daughters who never returned. These smaller memorials are deeply personal. They remind us that the war touched every corner of the nation, that grief was local before it was national, and that memory is kept alive not only in marble and metal but in family stories and community rituals. Overseas memorials, Britain's global footprint. British World War II memorials also exist far beyond its shores. From the beaches of Normandy to cemeteries in Italy, North Africa, and Myanmar, these sites tell of Britain's global struggle against fascism. The Brookwood Military Cemetery in Surrey, and the Commonwealth War Graves Commission sites around the world, are meticulously maintained and continue to bear silent witness to the scale of the sacrifice. The memorials that dot Britain and the world are more than monuments. They are living history, reminding new generations of the costs of war and the values of unity, sacrifice, and resilience. They tell Britain's World War II story not through dates and figures, but through faces, names, and symbols. As the last veterans pass into history, these memorials will carry the torch of memory forward. They ensure that Britain's story in World War II is not forgotten, and that those who served are remembered, not just on anniversaries but always.